10 amazing health benefits of fasting. Number 1, weight loss. In general, when your body is going through a period of fasting time, you are taking in fewer calories. And we all know that the basics of weight loss include fewer calories instead of more calories. Fasting also helps promote weight loss by affecting some of the hormones involved in breaking down fat. And these include lowering insulin levels, increasing HGH, and increasing norepinephrine. All of these hormones help to break down fat and use it for energy. So a period of short-term fasting can actually help you increase your metabolic rate and help you burn more calories. One older study from 2014 shows that intermittent fasting can achieve a 3 to 8% weight loss in just 3 to 24 weeks. That study showed that participants also lost about 4 to 7% of their waist circumference. And losing inches around your waist means you are actually losing visceral fat, and this is the fat within our abdomens that is linked to disease. Another study showed that with intermittent fasting, there was actually less muscle loss than there was with a continuous calorie-restricted diet. With intermittent fasting, there are many different time frames you can choose to eat and not to eat. If you missed my intro video on this topic, make sure you check out last week's video where I give a brief introduction to fasting and the science behind what goes on when your body is fasting. I will link that video at the end and also in the description box below. But overall, intermittent fasting can be a great way to help achieve weight loss if you have tried all other methods and they have failed. Health benefit number 2, fasting renews your body's cells. Abstaining from food for a prolonged period of hours, usually 17 to 24 hours, can induce something known as autophagy. And this is basically a waste removal process within our cells. It's an amazing function that our bodies can do when we reach a certain level of fasting from food. Over time, certain cells within our body break down and become dysfunctioning. There are certain proteins that can build up and start to clog the inside of our cells. But when autophagy is activated, there is an extensive cleanup process that occurs within inside our cells, removing all of those damaged products. And this is a process that has been shown to help slow certain diseases such as Alzheimer's and certain cancers. So, health benefit number 3 is that fasting can help prevent cancer. Cancer occurs in certain cells of our bodies when there is an overgrowth or an increased inflammation. Like we just talked about with the process of autophagy, fasting helps to induce several other beneficial effects on metabolism which help reduce cancer. And there are multiple studies on this out there on both animals and humans. And not only has fasting been shown to help reduce certain cancers, but it has also been shown to reduce the side effects of chemotherapy for those who are on that treatment for cancer. Health benefit number 4, fasting has a positive effect on hormones, cells, and genes. I talked a little bit more about the scientific processes that go on inside your body when you are fasting, and you can see that in my previous video. For instance, when fasting, your body can go into something known as ketosis, and this is when your body turns to fats to break down for energy instead of glucose. Fasting also helps lower your insulin levels, which helps in the fat burning process. It also reduces your risk for insulin resistance, which is the leading cause of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Fasting increases something known as HGH, which stands for human growth hormone. This hormone is also responsible for burning fat and gaining muscle. As we talked about with autophagy, your body undergoes a cellular repair process. This is where the cells clean and renew themselves, removing old waste products. And overall, fasting has been shown to have positive changes on certain genes and molecules related to longevity and the protection against certain diseases. Health benefit number 5, fasting can help reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. As I mentioned before, the main cause of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes includes insulin resistance. I have done a whole nother video on this topic and how you can lower your risk of insulin resistance. So if you are one who is at risk for diabetes, or maybe you have prediabetes, make sure you check out that video. There's a lot of practical diet tips in there which I go over to help you reduce your risk of insulin resistance and therefore diabetes. That video will also be linked in the description box below. So insulin resistance occurs over time when our body is bombarded with too much carbohydrates and sugars, which is broken down into glucose. When this occurs, basically your body's insulin can't keep up with the demands to convert it into energy, and so you end up having high blood sugars or high blood glucose levels. But with fasting, we know that your body has a chance to level out those glucose levels. It has a chance to decrease the amount of glucose within your body, including carbohydrates and sugars. And additionally, during periods of fasting is when your body turns to fats to burn for energy. So with all of these processes being in effect, your body has less chance to develop insulin resistance and therefore diabetes. Other studies have also shown that intermittent fasting can help slow the rate of the progression of complications of diabetes. All right, we are about halfway through the list now. If you're finding this video interesting or informative, make sure to hit the like button. Health benefit number 6, fasting helps reduce inflammation. I talk about inflammation a lot on this channel, and there are several other videos that I have made that discuss this. But basically, when there is increased inflammation in our body, this leads to increased oxidative stress, which increases your chances of certain diseases such as heart disease and cancer. Oxidative stress also just promotes the overall aging process within our body. As we age and are exposed to multiple toxins within our environment or also in our foods, we can get a buildup of unstable molecules within our bodies called free radicals, and these are the molecules that go into cells and damage DNA. But studies have shown that intermittent fasting can help reduce inflammation within the body and therefore oxidative stress and other diseases. Health benefit number 7, fasting supports heart health. Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death worldwide, and there are multiple risk factors toward developing heart disease. These risk factors include things like your blood pressure, blood sugar levels, your total cholesterol, including your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, also your triglycerides and other inflammatory markers. And all of these markers can be affected by your diet and the types of foods you are taking in. For instance, for someone who is eating more processed foods within their diet, they're going to have higher levels of sodium and also refined sugars. Those types of foods could definitely increase your risk of diabetes and high blood pressure. And I have also done a whole nother video on this topic of ultra-processed foods affecting our health. If you want to check that one out, I will also link it in the description below. But depending on your diet or the types of foods you consume, you can definitely be at more risk for heart disease. So along with choosing more whole foods and more healthier foods for you, fasting can be another way to help reduce this risk. Health benefit number 8, fasting improves brain health. Fasting has been shown to increase a brain hormone known as BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. We know that people who have a deficiency in BDNF, they can be more at risk for depression or other brain disorders. This hormone is responsible for a lot of things, including memory, concentration, and your cognitive function. Fasting may also promote the growth of new neurons, and this can help protect against certain brain damage. And speaking of brain damage, health benefit number 9 is that fasting can help reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is a form of dementia, which is the most common neurodegenerative disease around the world. Currently, there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, so preventing it or slowing its progression is very important. There have been some studies in rats which looked at the effects of intermittent fasting and the progression of Alzheimer's disease, and what they found was that intermittent fasting delayed the onset of Alzheimer's disease and reduced its severity. There have been other case reports documenting that daily short-term fasting can help significantly reduce symptoms of Alzheimer's in 9 out of 10 people. Fasting may also help prevent against other neurodegenerative diseases, including Parkinson's disease and Huntington's disease. However, these are currently undergoing more studies. And last but not least, health benefit number 10 from fasting includes improved longevity. And this just means living a longer and healthier life. Obviously, as we have already talked about from some of the other health benefits, if you are losing weight, reducing your risk for type 2 diabetes, reducing your risk for heart disease and certain cancers, you will obviously live longer without having to fight off these diseases. If you made it this far in the video, say hi or write fasting in the comments section. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask those. I would be happy to answer them for you. Please like and share this video and be sure to subscribe, as I will be making more videos like this in the future. And until next time, bye!